Hi everyone, I did my plant presentation on the ZZ plant, which is also scientifically known as Zamioculcas zemifloria. So starting with the origin, the ZZ plant belongs to the Arcelia family, which is also known as the arum family. So the arum family contains low-growing tuberous perennial plants. This plant is also native to Africa, and most specifically Kenya and South Africa. Moving on to characteristics and appearances of the ZZ plant, it doesn't grow very big. It only grows in between 1 to 3 feet in height, and same with width. It just mainly depends on how much light your ZZ plant is getting. And it's mainly characterized by its leaves. So the leaves are arranged alternating along the petiole, and the leaves are very shiny, wide, they're oval shaped. They often have this like waxiness to them, and they hold this really deep green color that sometimes people mistake them as artificial or fake plants. Now, the ZZ plant can also produce small yellow or white flowers, which you can see down below on the left, but it is very rare. Moving on to plant care. So the ZZ plant is very popular because it's very low maintenance. It can handle a little bit of neglect. The ZZ plant can tolerate anywhere between low and direct light. It could go a little while without watering. So in hotter seasons, you usually water your ZZ plant every 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks. And then in cooler seasons, you water the ZZ plant anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. I've even gone 6 weeks without watering my ZZ plant in the winter, and it's done completely fine. Just make sure that the soil is dry in between waterings, and it should be good. Make sure that there's a lot of drainage. For these plants, they don't like what I call wet feet or wet roots. That can lead to root rot, which will kill your plant. And then applying a liquid fertilizer twice a year can help your plant grow and also give it some nutrients, but the ZZ plant's very forgiving if you forget to fertilize it. Moving on to medicine properties. So if you ingest the ZZ plant, it's very toxic. It's also toxic for pets if they ingest it. But it does have some medicinal properties that indigenous people use, specifically indigenous people in Africa, because that's where the plant is native to. And so they would try and pull the juice and oil out of the leaves, and they would drop into their ears to try and help earaches and ear infections. They also made a poultice, which is kind of like a paste, and they would rub it on anywhere where they're having muscle aches, anti-inflammatory problems, or they even rubbed it on their stomachs to try and cure any stomach aches or stomach issues. And moving on to the effect on the environment. So the ZZ plant is a natural purifying plant, and there was a study published by Water, Air, and Soil Pollution, which is this international journal where scientists put their publications. And they found that the ZZ plant can remove 4 major pollutant gases, and it can remove benzene, toluene, ethylbenzene, and xylene. Sorry if I pronounce this wrong. So you can see down below that the ratios of how much pollutant this plant took up. And so 80% of benzene, 76% toluene, 75% of ethylbenzene, and 73% of xylene were removed from the stomata pathway. So this was removed, of course, during photosynthesis, and the rest was removed by the cuticles. And they found that the plant wasn't like the leaves and the roots weren't bothered by the pollutants. So this plant is great to add to your home, office spaces, just anywhere in general. So yeah, that concludes my plant presentation.